Hello, Tube.01 here and welcome to our video. Today I'm outside Whitechapel tube station. I'm going to be seeing, is the Elizabeth line really faster than other modes of transport in London? Let's go and take a look. In this video I'll be travelling by Elizabeth line, London Underground, London buses and Santander cycles through from Whitechapel to Paddington, as this is the main part of the core section of the Elizabeth line, and compare the time it took, the cost and the comfort of these alternative modes of transport. Let's go! Right, so to get to Paddington you have to go by the Hammersmith City line. Google Maps says it'll take approximately 29 minutes, and the TfL Fare Finder says it will cost £2.60 to £3.20 for an adult and 80 to 90p for children 11 to 15. As we enter, we head straight down to the Hammersmith City line platforms and wait for a train. The timing is necessary for this test, as we'll need to see if the subsurface line's timetable can compete with the purple trains. Unluckily enough, two trains were district line trains, and our train did not appear on the board until 2 minutes until it came. Luckily, it wasn't too crowded, and these trains do have air conditioning, as they say. These trains have also got their acceleration upgraded recently, which is also nice, but with 11 stops sitting between us and the finish, I'm not feeling hopeful. Along with this, Paddington H&C line stations get really crowded, so I was dreading that the whole way there. Overall, the results are... It ended up taking 42 minutes on the Hammersmith City line, comparing that it's the same price with the Elizabeth line that's not very good. Next up is Santander cycles, an approximate time of 42 minutes. This bike costs £4 for 1 hour, and you get to cycle through some really nice parts of London, which you do not get to see travelling underground. The cycle superhighways really do improve the experience, which means you don't have to ride through traffic. It was a bit chaotic on the day, but you even get to go past Buckingham Palace, which is really nice, and it's just a really enjoyable experience. The traffic lights do take a little bit longer, but you'd not get this sort of view if you were stuck underground on a crowded tube train, which I really like, that you've got more modes of transport to choose from in London, which is really nice. It's also quite cheap as well. It's not as cheap as the tube, and it takes longer, at least the predicted time, but you also get exercise, which is also another plus of this route. There are a couple of parts here which are not segregated, which are a little bit bad, namely Castle Baynard Street, and there is Cooper's Row near Trinity Square. However, that is getting a new cycle lane put in really soon. So yeah, this part here, you won't have to do this part soon because they're going to add new cycle lanes in. So we go through Oldgate now, which is really nice. And this is the part where you have to go on the roads, which is not so good, but still, this is a really unique experience that compared to just the tube. And here's another segregated cycle lane where we're going to do a 2-stage right turn here, which is a bit odd, but it's really simple to do if you know how to do it. This is near Whitechapel now. We're getting to the cycle hire place where I'm meant to stop. And we're just going to make this 2-stage right turn here, wait for the cycle symbol, and we are done on a new road. Very nice. That took 50 minutes, which is not too much than the approximate time, taking that it doesn't take into account traffic lights. Now on the London bus, it has a frequency every 9 minutes, and it said it will take approximately 57 minutes. The adult price and the child price I think are cheaper than the tube, which is really nice. You can see them installing a new cycle gates there, and we get to go through some lovely places like Shoreditch and Old Street, and also King's Cross, which is also nice as well. You get to see a lot of the posh buildings that you won't be able to see from the cycle ways. The traffic is quite bad for the route. I don't know whether it was just the day or whether it's normally that bad, but yeah, traffic was quite bad, but it goes through some really nice places like these streets, it's really good. There are very frequent stops on this bus, and it just seems to be like 3 buses turned up at once, but it sort of makes up for the fact because you get very comfy seats. They're very bouncy and nice and comfy, and you even get to go past really nice places like King's Cross, St Pancras, which is very nice. There you can see the St Pancras International and King's Cross right there, which I really like. So if you have the time, it's also cheaper, then a bus is a great option. I think it's very good. It's better than like taking the car, and the tube's faster, but you don't get to see any of this. Though I'd still probably recommend the bike more because it's shorter and the other benefits like exercise, and it's just more fun than sitting in traffic. Anyway, that took absolutely ages, 1 hour 2 minutes, but for the price it might be worth it. The Elizabeth line has the same fare as the tube fare, so let's see if the Hammersmith City line can compete with the Elizabeth line. The trains are really fast, they seem to go through London really quick. Got nice platform screen doors, very capacious, and it's very good. The trains turn up really frequently, every 5 minutes compared to every 11 minutes, which is really nice. The Elizabeth line is very quiet. You'd hardly know that you're passing through tunnels. You can hardly hear it at all. It's just that good. There is also air conditioning on the Class 345. However, I'd still say it was still warmer than the Hammersmith and City lines. However, I probably was wearing a coat on the Elizabeth line trains, and I wasn't on the Hammersmith and City line trains, so it probably just depends. And also it was a simulation of rush hour on the Elizabeth line train, so results may vary with the air conditioning. Yeah, the estimated journey time is 14 minutes. However, as this is a test, I think it took a bit longer. Unfortunately, it took 20 minutes instead. But that may just because it was a test run and it wasn't actually the full operation. It may be shorter on the actual test. However, this is as much as I can go off right now of how close the approximate journey times are. But overall, journey times are much quicker, and we didn't have to wait at any red signals, unlike every time you go to Aldgate East, there's always a red signal, which is very nice, and the architecture is stunning. However, is it really worth all that money that made the Elizabeth line, all those billions of pounds? Well, I guess I'll have to leave that up to you. Tell me in the comments below. This is CheekyShop01, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.